Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got a Four Roses single barrel store pick. But before we get into that, I want to thank you guys. You guys pushed me up over 1,000 subscribers, and I'm telling you, man, I cannot thank you guys enough. Yes, I did sweeten the pot a little bit. I cannot lie about that, but the majority of you guys, you still hang around. You are in the comments. You are commenting on the videos, not just the baby B, but I mean, you guys are actually interacting with me, and I love that. I love that. I appreciate all the love. The feedback has been so positive, and I'm a guy, I'll take critical feedback. I'll also take positive feedback. I mean, you guys have really surprised the heck out of me, man, with the amount of love and everything that you shared. Not only tonight will I be giving away a baby bottle of B. You see I got the new Bourbon Drop shirt. I've got a shirt that I am going to be sending to the winner of the baby bottle of B. It'll be a shirt exactly like this. This is not the shirt, this is a shirt for a future video, but it'll be a shirt exactly like this one right here. I want to also go over my pad really quick because I have to thank everybody who made this channel possible. My number one fan, my wife, who tells all of her family about it. My wife Robin, my sons, they stay in my channel and keeping me up on how many subscribers I got. They're always telling me, Dad, you're almost there, you're almost there. My sister, she's always in the comments. My stepfather's always telling everybody he meets about the channel. My wife's two cousins, Nikki and Keelate, they're in the comments. You know, my cousin Jason, shout out to Jason, man. He reached out, he wanted to do an intro for the channel, and I just have not had the time to sit down with him and go over some of the ideas that he's had. But Jason, I really appreciate it. My bourbon family at work, especially my man Andrew. Andrew is a hustler. That dude is always putting me in somebody's ear. My man Kenny with the bottles. Kenny came through with some amazing bottles. I mean, to have a new bourbon channel and have those type of bottles on the channel, Kenny, I can't thank you enough. I've got my man Nick, who's come through with some bottles. Andrew is actually, he's got a review coming up. So you'll see that here shortly. That's a Crown Royal review. My man Devon, Tim, Benyam, you know, those guys, we talk bourbon at work. My buddy CA, shout out to CA. He was the first person to ever send me a bottle, so I really appreciate that. That is special. I will keep that in my heart. All of the viewers who stay in the comments, man, shout out to my man Dean D, man. Dean D is always in the comments. You've got Will T, Bradley Bernard, Henry Harris, Doug Pearson, R. Mincy. You've got Connie Harris, Dave Vogelsang, Henry Harris. You've got Carl Olson, Cash Run 1454, Cam Hester, James Weaver, NMTK, The Bloody 81, and The Man of Steel. And those are the people who stay in the comments, who actually go back and look at some of my older videos. And if you want a good laugh, check out check out my first video, man. That first video, put it this way, you just see the progression from then to now. And you know what? The people who went back and looked at some of those older videos, they didn't have anything bad to say. They commented on a review, and you know, we just converse back and forth. But I appreciate all of you guys who watch the channel, who leave a comment. Make sure you leave a comment, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you always get a video. Now let's get into this thing right here. Lady Luck was on my side. I was not able to go to a Virginia ABC limited drop because they get store picks in, and they had one day this year where they had like limited store picks, and they didn't tell you exactly what stores they were at, but they just said this is what we're going to have. So I got this one last year. This to me was a great bottle. This right here is what started me on my chase for Four Roses. So having this one last year, and they had another Four Roses store pick on the list this year, it only made sense for me to try and get it. Of course, I didn't get it. I mean, I do work for a living, so I do have obligations and responsibilities. But let's say a couple days later, I go by one of my favorite local liquor stores, shout out Nixon Clinton, and they've got it sitting in a glass case. They have a store pick of Four Roses, it blew my mind. I said, Lady Luck is on my side. Now, this is an OESF. The first one I got was an OBSF, and that one is 10 and a half years old. This is 10 years, 8 months. So let's get into the Four Roses bourbon. I got it down to the shoulder because, of course, you know me, I like to get it down to the shoulder, let the bourbon come alive a little bit, just so that I can give you the truest review possible. Let's get into the nose. Oh my gosh, man. It's heavy fruit. This is heavy, bright red fruits and heavy dark fruits. It's also got a little bit of that maple syrup note in it. Cherry is so deep in the glass. I get a lot of plums and dates. There's a light citrus note. There's also an oaky spice in there. Let's get into the palate. You can't say enough good things about Four Roses, man. It is so sweet. It's almost like a fruit punch, and I've said that before in my videos. It's almost like a fruit punch. It's got so many different fruits hitting you at once, and then under all of that fruit is this heavy maple syrup, little bit of char, turns into a chocolate, a beautiful chocolate. Let's go back into the nose one more time. Yeah, more of the oak comes out now. A touch of the citrus comes out. It does get like a little, at first, not a doughy note. It gets almost like a clay wax note in it. Let's go back into the palate. That is just, that is sweet. It's maple syrup. It's plums. It's dates. It's cherry. It's raspberries. It is just a fruit medley with maple syrup, like a slight caramel, a butterscotch. I mean, dude, you can't go wrong. I don't want to make the video too long, so I don't want to get into this, but we'll just get back into the breakdown, and depending on what the time looks like, I may get into it later in the video. I don't know. But is it worth the chase? Yes. I'm telling you it's worth the chase. This started me on the chase for this. This started me on the chase for these two. This bottle, I'm going to chase every bottle. Every time I get a chance to get my hands on a Four Roses single barrel, I am going to pick one up. Is it worth over retail? Yes. I mean, I would go as high as my $30 limit. It is already a $90 bottle. Nicks of Clinton, they do an amazing job of selling their bottles for retail. They do get some Pappy, they get Booker's, they get Bardstown. The Bardstown Origin series actually came in under manufacturer's suggested retail price. So I would definitely pay over retail. Would I give it to a new bourbon drinker? No. It comes in at 115.4 proof. I am not giving that to a new bourbon drinker. And I think what happens is us new bourbon drinkers, our palates get acclimated to higher proof products. So with something that's high price, high proof, sorry about that. Something that's high proof, when it goes down smooth, we say, oh man, that's good for a new bourbon drinker. No, it went down smooth on our palates, but I believe that this would still tear a new bourbon drinker up because this drink's surprisingly easy to be 115. I don't get any burn in the throat. It goes down very easy and it is very flavorful. Those are all things that I would love to give to a new bourbon drinker, but my palate has become used to high proof products. I know that 115.4 would tear a new bourbon drinker's face off. Will it always be on the bar? Unless I go through this bottle, it will always be on the bar. This right here is a year old. It's halfway down. This is just past the shoulder. I will probably get this halfway down and then leave it alone until I can get my hands on another one. But Four Roses single barrels will always be on the bar. Now, let's get to what you guys really came here for. First of all, let me pour a little more of the glass because it is that good. It is definitely that good. But let's get to what you guys came here for. This is the drum that I have. These are all of the names that entered. They said Baby B. Even once I got to 1,000 and you guys were still saying Baby B in the comments, I still kept writing them down until I did the review. Yes, today is Wednesday, March 1st. So I cut all of the names out of my booklet and put them all in here, and I've already started to roll the drum to get them mixed up, rolled it back and forth, and I want you guys to know that there is no favoritism. Even the people that stayed in my comments, the people who even put Baby B twice, I tried my hardest to make sure that I didn't put them in the contest twice. So now it is time to open it up and pick one of the names. This name is at Team Walter Folly Yu-Gi-Oh! Alexander Pavlok. Oh, wow. I remember writing that and remembering and saying that that is going to be a very long name. At Team Water Folly Yu-Gi-Oh! Alexander Pavlok. So, Alexander Pavlok, please get in touch with me inside of a week to get your own Baby B and your new Bourbon Drop t-shirt. I will send all of these out once we exchange information. We will exchange information. I will get everything shipped out to you and get you your own bottle of Baby B coming from the Bourbon Drop channel, the Bourbon Drop family, and your own t-shirt. First off t-shirt, so you might want to keep that. I don't know how far this channel is going to grow, but you might want to keep that t-shirt. Might not ever even want to wear it and put sweat stains in it. So congratulations to you once again, Mr. Alexander Pavlok. Now I want to get into ideas that I have for the channel, and I just want to get you guys to chime in on it a little bit. So you see that I have these special releases. These are limited releases. You're not going to have these in your state. This was specially selected for Maryland, as it says on the side of the bottle. This is the 10th edition. Same thing with the Virginia ABC pick. But I want to do something called Shelf Life. Believe it or not, that was going to be the first name on the channel. I was going to call the channel Shelf Life. I'm kind of glad I didn't. Then it was going to be called Let's Talk Whiskey. Then I was kind of playing around with Let's Talk Bourbon. Then it landed on Bourbon Drop. And while I was in my Photoshop and I was trying to put together a logo, the way I twisted the beads, because this shirt is still not 100% the way it should be. It is about 99.9% how it should be, because the logo actually, if you pay attention to the logo, the B and the D actually intertwine like that. And then there's an outline so that you can clearly see the B and you can clearly see the D. So the logo, it kind of bled a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. Now, things like this that you can find every day on the shelf, I want to do a segment called Shelf Life. So if I do a segment called Shelf Life and review some of the, more so the things that you find when you go into a store and you see them every day. That's why I want to do a segment called Shelf Life, or a series called Shelf Life, because I've had guys reach out to me in the comments and they say, hey man, I'm glad that you review stuff that's off the beaten path, which I do. And those are some of the things that you may see in your local liquor store that you have not given a chance, that might be good products, but you just don't want to spend 30, 40, 50 bucks and be disappointed, and then it becomes a drain pour. So I think if I do things like this, include bottles that we know are hitter bottles that are always on the shelf, and then we include those bottles that people might not review all the time, and they might not always get the time of day or the light of day, and shine some light on those bottles, and then we go from there and then see how you guys feel about those reviews, and then maybe help you guys bring some new bourbon into your bar. Also new for the channel this year, I want to get into some ideas that I've been having with certain battles, as far as bottles going side by side. I want to do a series called Hundo Head Honcho, and just because truth be told, I love high proof stuff, but that 100 proof point, man, that is an excellent point for me. I love anything pretty much in that 100 proof point. So I want to put, and I've got a lot of 100 proofers in the bar, in the storage area. So I would love to get those, you know, against each other and see which one is the best 100 proofer that I have down here. What else would I like to do? I want to start doing some bourbon hauls where I go to the store and shooting those with the video camera, because I had a guy reach out to me. He said, man, I would love to see you, you know, go into a store, look up and down the aisles, and I mean, I am basically putting words in his mouth at this point, but you know, just basically go into a store with a video camera and shoot myself doing a bourbon haul. And I have had the idea to do that. You know, of course, I've got to get, you know, the owner's approval so that I can go in their store and record, but I would love to do something like that. So, and I would also love you guys to put in the comments what you want to see on the channel. What battles do you want to see me do? What blind flights do you want to see me do? What bottles do you want to see me review? Because sometimes I get lucky, I get some unicorns. I've got bottles. This was actually reviewed before on the channel, but it was part of the lost episodes. I did something funny with the SD card. Some of them, well, a lot of the memory got wiped clean. I was not able to do another review for a while. So I was like, well, when I get a chance to get another review done on it, I'll get a review done on it along with the single barrel that I got from the Virginia ABC. I also want to do some distillery only stuff to see what is the best bottle that comes out of that distillery. So like I said, I am open for suggestions. I love doing what I do. I am a big fan of bourbon. I am a bourbon lover, as you can see. Look at the t-shirt. Shout out again to Alexander Pavlok. You're getting a t-shirt in the mail. So guys, go in the comments, tell me the things that you want to see me do. I will try and do those things. Maybe some bottles that you want reviewed. I had one guy reach out to me. He talked about Penelope. I've already done a Penelope review. However, I have the first Architect. I think they're up to batch 4 or number 4 now. So I do want to do some more Penelope reviews because I love their toasted products. But with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head to a drop. Till next time.